This week we take a look at spring sports.
Off-campus lunch being helpful for students.
And Inclusion Week.
All that and more on the Warrior Weekly. And welcome to this week's edition of the Warrior Weekly, presented by Warrior Student Media. I'm Madison Harbison.
And I'm Ryan Tedman. This week we take a look at a number of exciting events and stories at MCHS.
First, we investigate seniors leaving spring sports and how it's going to be different.
This upcoming 2026 spring season for both baseball and lacrosse are approaching with high anticipation, and both teams have new sets of seniors that are hungry to fill in the shoes of the previous senior class. Lacrosse senior Devin Albert, now being a leader on the team, has to step up and take on a more serious role as he faces the challenges of being a top player in the team that the previous seniors had.
Player, and then on offense, it's kind of like we lost one of our biggest guys on offense too, so it's like the roles of me having to step up. And last year he would get like face guarded and stuff, so I'll have to deal with that and help the team like work around getting face guarded and try to still be an impact. I just know on offense I have to really step up a lot and try to dictate the offense and help everyone move around to the right spots so we can succeed in all areas. Having another captain, Landon Jett, he's going to help that side of the team, and we can always just talk to each other and how to help improve like the atmosphere to make sure we're all working together.
Coach Riviaco, now in his second year coaching, states the qualities he looks for in senior leadership and being a contributor to the team.
I'm looking forward to it. We've had, obviously, this is my second year being a head coach. When I came into the program, we were at about around 20 guys-ish. Last year we had 28 kids play, so we had to double roster. You know, varsity, JV, we barely had enough to form a JV team. Just continue to build the program, work hard. We have a lot of guys that play club lacrosse outside of the school, which is obviously beneficial to building your program. I also think, communication, good grades, good student, all those aspects kind of play into the leadership roles. And some guys won't wear a C on their jerseys, which is fine, but at the end of the day, you can still be a leader by not having a letter.
Heading over to baseball, McHenry Hall of Fame inductee Coach Rockweiler expresses his feelings on the previous senior class and their successes while he breaks down what the new senior class has to do to meet the high expectations of last year.
We had a great group of seniors last year, did a great job of leading and following our standards, and so we're definitely going to miss them. I think they just keep doing the things that they've been doing. Now they're seniors, now they're going to take more of a leadership role. They're going to continue the standard of working hard and being leaders. I look for guys that are committed to our program, they're loyal, they're trustworthy, and like I said, they're going to work hard. They're going to be role models.
Senior baseball player Scotty Cole demonstrates the amount of heart the senior class has while also stating how he will be the best possible senior leader for the team.
It's sad, like those guys I had a really good connection with. I was really close with a lot of them. It's sad to see them go, but it's exciting to see what we can. And the new seniors and me, we're all really excited to take the role that they had last year. I try to make inclusion with everyone. I try to make all grade levels feel confident and happy with how they're playing, because sometimes it's hard when you're not used to the schedule that we have, so I try to make everyone feel included as much as I can. I think we're going to be really good. I have a lot of confidence in my players. We might not have the most amount of Division I athletes on our team, but we have a lot of heart, and I think that that's going to be a really big opportunity for us to grow and be able to play good as a whole.
Are you excited to see how the class of 2026 will perform? If so, be sure to attend both lacrosse and baseball games throughout their spring seasons. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are Aiden Hirsch, Hunter Lechner, Cole Tapia, and Lucas Decker.
Next, we dive deeper into off-campus lunch being good for students' mental health.
For many students, the lunchroom is a place to eat their food and relax, but for some, it's an overwhelming environment. For those students, a different option awaits them outside the building. Taking a look at off-campus lunch at MCHS, students explain their differing opinions on how it affects a student's learning capacity. Senior Eva Mae Duggar is one for the mental health idea, coming back with a better mindset after going out for lunch.
I think it does, honestly. Well, speaking on my own, every time I go out to lunch and I come back, I honestly feel very refreshed. Like, coming from school, it's like a different environment from going outside. So when I'm coming back, I just feel new and I feel like I'm ready to start the day again. So.
While it may be relaxing going out for lunch, to others, it's actually just lunch. Junior Sophia Corpin has a different perspective.
Honestly, I don't think it really relates to learning because it's lunch, and when you go out for lunch, you're going out to eat. But I feel like some people use open lunch to go home or like get out to school to study and pick up other work.
It's hard to say whether students truly get a boost from lunch. Junior Dean Mr. Diener says otherwise.
I do think open lunch serves as a recharge for kids to get out of the building, separate themselves from the stressors of what happens in school, focus on what they need to focus on, right? It kind of goes on our flex policy too, of that you give kids the time of day. If they earn it, they can use their time how they want to, and if they see fit that that is how they clear their brain, help themselves, and get back on track for learning, I do think it helps with learning.
Although he's a believer for open campus lunch, it is still a privilege.
It's hard to value whether kids need a mental reset or if they need to follow protocol and rules, right? As a dean of students, I'm going to go towards like, if you prepare yourself, you work hard enough, you use your weekend, your after school, and your aims okay, then you should be able to balance yourself without open lunch, your ability to like look out for your own mental health.
Open campus lunch is available to all juniors and seniors. Talk to your counselor for more information for going out for lunch. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are Jonathan Carlson, Dylan Olshansky, AJ Rogers, and Cody Brim.
Next is weather. How's the weather looking, Izzy?
Good morning, Warriors. I'm Izzy Townsend, your weather reporter for the Warrior Weekly. We're looking at some warm weather and some rainy weather this week. On Tuesday, we've got a high of 55 degrees, no rain on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, a high of 40 degrees, with a little bit of sun, but also a little bit of rain. And then on Thursday, a high of 47 degrees, just some cloudy skies. And then on Friday, it's going to be really windy with a high of 47 degrees. And on Saturday, a high of 40 degrees, but a little more rain. Thanks for watching my weather report.
Lastly, Warrior Student Media investigates the history and people involved in Inclusion Week.
Happy Student Week.
As students walk the halls of MCHS, they constantly see the differences between one another. Instead of branching out, most students choose to ignore it. To solve this, Inclusion Week, offered by Warrior Buddies, allowed students to learn more about their peers and what they can do to make someone feel included.
Inclusion Week is a nationwide event. It started as Spread the Word to End the Word.
Inclusion Week was started by Special Olympics and Warrior Buddies organization nationwide. The attempt was to start a pledge where students and people all around the world would stop using the R word, which then developed into Inclusion Week to kind of make it more accessible for all individuals. We started doing it in McHenry in 2017, and we've been doing it every year since.
Though Inclusion Week is a fun event to show awareness, it involves many different school-wide activities like a photo booth, goodies, and spirit days.
So we have the flowers. We pass out items for Takeover Tuesday. On Friday, we have our photo booth. Which one's your favorite?
The pictures.
The pictures, the photo booth?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun last year. It's going to be even better this year.
Fruit snacks.
Yeah, we had fruit snacks. What else did we pass out?
Christmas treat.
Rice Krispie treats?
Yeah.
I think there was a couple Rice Krispie treats. I think you're right. What else? What did we have that was orange?
Necklace.
Bracelets.
Bracelets.
We had bracelets and we had smiley face.
Smiley face.
But what do you do with the smiley faces? What were they?
Stickers.
Stickers, yeah.
You make thank you clouds and it's fun to write.
Inclusion Week is not the only thing MCHS does to promote diversity. Warrior Buddies is an after-school program that students can attend and participate in different events with the adjusted learners.
Warrior Buddies is what brought Inclusion Week to our school. It's a club where we promote friendships between our students with disabilities and our general education students, and that's really what Inclusion Week is all about, is fostering those connections and friendships.
Yeah, so I developed the club Warrior Buddies. I was the original, the OG of the club, and so we originated it back in 2016. But the organization of Spread the Word didn't begin until 2017.
Being able to build strong connections with others is important, no matter the differences between one another.
They want to be included, and that, like, just how to build a friendship with them is really important, and that they do want to build friendships, and that it's super important, and that they are people like in general too. We can bridge the gap between the two, like that it's important, and that building connections is super important.
Inclusion Week happens every year on the first week of March. It's important for people to branch out and learn about new connections that might just be across the hall from you. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are Aubrey Mendez, Rose Winkenbach, and Cameron Mitchell. Have a good day, Warriors.
Inclusion matters! All right. Maybe can you tell everyone how you feel about inclusion?
Inclusion matters.
That's right, it does. Super important.
That's all for this week's episode. Be sure to follow the Warrior Weekly on all social media platforms, including X, Insta, and TikTok.
For Madison and all of Warrior Student Media, I'm Ryan Tedman. Have a great week, Warriors, and thank you for watching.